Welcome. Welcome to the latest video games. Oh, yeah. Okay. That would have been good if I had special effects, but that's not going to happen with this channel. But I do have nice clips of this.
Oh, yeah!
Can't go wrong with Randy Savage. Cannot go wrong with the Macho Man. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's been a busy month of December, and in this volume, you're going to actually see a couple that I picked up with CJ, and yeah, this is going to be a nice little volume. I made a trip to Computer Whiz. I may have filmed it. Memory's a little bit faulty, and I had to reshoot this because I had to actually remember stuff, so here we go. At a thrift shop, I picked up Monster 4x4 World Circuit for the Wii, and I don't pick up many Wii games, but this was in great shape. It was cheap. I mean, they was having a sale, I think 50 cents. I was like, yeah, you know, a Wii game for 50 cents. Mark me down, son. Mark me down for that. I am game on that. Now, I got a lot of PlayStation 4 and 5 games and Xbox One, so you're going to enjoy this part. And PlayStation 3, so yeah. And my shopping went to thrift shops, pawn shops, and the GameStop sales that they had, and Walmart. So you're going to like this volume. So here we go. At Cheap Thrills, I bought a game. It was actually I think it was Grand Theft Auto Premium Edition. So it didn't work. It wouldn't work. I don't know what was wrong. This is really the first time that's ever happened. I tried it in two of my PlayStation 4s. I tried it in my first one and then my second one. I was like, this game ain't working. There's something weird. So it wouldn't load. It just would not load, and the disc looked clean. So I was like, okay, this is weird. I said, it must be a corrupted disc. So I took it back. Guys like, okay, I'm gonna give you store credit, and I used it for Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This has all three of the Mass Effect games, and I started one, and I got a good part of the way in. Was doing all these side missions, and I just forgot about finishing it. I got so busy I didn't finish playing it. But yeah, Mass Effect, everybody's told me if you got to the second game, that's when the story really gets good. The second game is one of the best. So I need to go back and I need to finish that. But I've got it now for the PlayStation 3 and 4. At a pawn shop, I picked up for cheap. The guy marked it half price other than that, so he was like, yeah, he just wanted to get rid of it. And I could see why nobody would buy this game, because Trolling Eyes consider it one of the worst games for the PlayStation 4. It's not a really high-ranking game. So I picked it up, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get it. It's cheap. It's, you know, it can't be, you know, I like some bad games. I've got a lot of bad games, and I'm like, I need to get it. So here it is, Trolling Eye. You know, the only good thing they could say on the back of the game is best original game from some site. That's the only positive they can put in this whole video, the whole thing. Now, at Computer Whiz, I picked up, they made me a deal. I didn't pay this price on it, but they made me a deal to get rid of it. It was 3 games in one. It was Flower, Journey, and I can't think of the other one. The other third one. This was a very weird game. It's, like I said, Journey is one that you have to play, and it takes, I tried it, and I played it for about an hour, and I was like, I'm not really getting into this. And I'm not really, you know, I know people could join you into Journey and play it all the way through, and I'm like, I'm not really liking the fact that some stranger could just join me in the game. I'm like, I know people like that, but I play a little bit online with Call of Duty. That's my extent. And I felt weird playing with people on the thing. It's just me. And I heard Flower is a good game. Flower is probably one of those games that people brag about. So yeah, picking it up for the cheap price was pretty good during December. I picked this one up at Cheap Thrills. I walked in there and I was looking for a cheap game, and this remind me of Excitebike. It is Trials Fusion, and the game is all to hell. The box is. The box looks like somebody just ran it over, but the game's in great shape. I'm like, okay, that's just weird. I mean, the game looks like somebody just destroyed it, just ran it over. I picked up Dead Rising 3. And I know this is an exclusive, I think, from Microsoft, so that's why I hadn't picked it up. This was part of the 3 for $8 deal that one of the pawn shops have. So that gives me one of the Xbox One games I needed. I picked up Little Big Planet Karting, a racing game like Mario Kart with Little Big Planet. So that was kind of cool to find. And I picked up Far Cry New Dawn for the PlayStation 4. And this is a spin-off of Far Cry 5. This is the post-apocalyptic world, basically. Years ahead. Let me show that off first. Okay. Now, you saw the video with me and CJ at the last weekend of November. And that was on Black Friday. That was like a day or two before Black Friday hit. And GameStop was having their sale. Well, they continued the sale past that. So I was able to get some good stuff. And one of the games I picked up with CJ was Grand Theft Auto Trilogy for the Xbox One. This has Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. So this is kind of cool to see, you know, kind of cool to actually get. Oh yeah. One that I picked up with CJ was Scarlet Nexus. And me and Daryl was talking about this one. He said, man, this is good. And they had a couple extra copies of this one. And Bandai Namco, it's kind of shocking that this game has not really been highly rated. You know, that I bought out. I can't wait to play it. I got a lot of RPGs, but, you know, you got to take your time to get to them. I got Watch Dogs Legion at the GameStop. And like I said, this was a nice cheap deal. Those 3 were the ones I picked up with CJ at that GameStop. And the one at home. Now, we're going to get to the stuff I got through December. So here we go. Okay. Let's get rolling here. Here we go. At Walmart, they were having a Black Friday sale. They was having their Black Friday. And me and CJ was together, and he pointed out, he said, dude, you need to pick that up, about that Grand Theft Auto for $10. I was like, I don't need to get it, I'm good. And he's like, no. And I just went home, and I started thinking about it. I said, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5 for $10, that's a pretty damn good deal, you know. I said, why didn't I pick that up? So a couple days later, I drove back over there, and I was walking around, and all of it was sold out. All from the booth. They had the new Gotham Knights game, and it was really, I didn't pick it up because it was just still too high. There's no way I'm paying $30-some for that game because I heard it sucks. And they had the Sonic, the new Sonic Frontiers. They had it marked down. But I was like, well, I missed my chance. It's all sold out. So I went around the corner, and inside one of the, you know, in the PlayStation 5 bin, they had Grand Theft Auto 5 here, like this setting. And it was set like, the last copy was like setting like this, and I was like, oh, let me see if it's still $10. So the guy rung it up, and it still was. So I got the final copy of Grand Theft Auto 5, which was really weird because I've got it for the 3, 4, and 5. That's kind of weird, you know. It's very, very weird to see that I have that same game for 3 different systems. And people make the joke that Grand Theft Auto 5 just keeps coming out. It's like every system that's made, Grand Theft Auto 5. But there's a reason for that. It's Rockstar Games' it's probably the most profitable game that's ever been made. Yeah, I think it's made over a couple $2 billion in profit. So that's a reason why it keeps coming out. And that's kind of cool to get. Now, at GameStop, I traded 2 games in, and I got some store credit, and I used it to get this one knocked down a little bit. It is The Simpsons, the game, for the PlayStation 3. And I've got to get a game case for this one. This is one of the Xbox One games I kept from a pawn shop. It is Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6, so that's kind of cool. So I've got the Far Cry series, and I've got Simpsons the game for the PlayStation 3. At Walmart again, I picked up The Quarry. And this one has a unique story. This one actually, they had marked this one down, and I think the PlayStation 5 version for $20 for a while. And so I was in there, and I was looking for the PlayStation 5 version of it, and they didn't have it. So they had maybe 1 or 2 copies of the PlayStation 4 version. So I said, "Is it still $20?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, that'd be good. I'll go ahead and get that." Now, at Computer Whiz, I did pick up another good one here. I should have showed the Computer Whiz games like Journey and this together, but I don't know what I'm thinking. But at the same trip with Journey, I picked up Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. I love the Lego games, and I have this one for the PlayStation 4 and the collection. So yeah, Lego Marvel Superheroes is, the Lego games are my favorite, and I said I got to get it for the Xbox One. I've got that system. I've got to get these Lego games for it. They're fun, easy games. Nice little, after you play a good, intense game like Cyberpunk, just calm down with a game of Lego superheroes. Now, here's the funny one. You saw me in the video, I think with Watch Dogs Legion, I actually picked this one up. I don't know why I didn't show it. My mind's out there. But yeah, this was picked up with Watch Dogs Legion. It's actually Alan Wake Remastered. You saw me pick it up, right? So I picked it up. And there was a game I put back, and you'll see why. I think it was Sackboy, right? So, and there's another game I put back later in December in another trip, which I'll remark. But I always heard good things about this game. But yeah, you saw this. Let me show this one off before. But the next 3 you haven't seen yet. So here we go. With Sackboy, A Big Adventure, Daryl had found this one. He had found this one and said, "Hey, he said, if I find it, I'll get it for you. I'll tell you I'll put it back for you." He said, "I know you want it. I'm sorry that happened." He couldn't find the disc. He couldn't find the game disc. So I was like, "Don't worry." So, like the guy that yells out, "Damn, damn, damn." Yeah, them, doing the little, what's her name from Good Times. But yeah. Anyhow, I didn't have no hope for it. I was like, there's no way he's going to find that game. I mean, hell, somebody's done probably took it. But I walked in there about so many days later, and Daryl says, "Hey, look, I got it for you. I found it." And I said, "I'm going to go ahead and pick it up then." Sackboy, A Big Adventure. But I was happy to get that one. But this game that I'm going to show next is really funny, because Daryl, again, saved me on buying a game that he knew I probably wouldn't like after I bought it. And he's always been good at that. I picked up, for $10, I picked up Battlefield 2042. And the last Battlefield I got was Battlefield 5. So I walked up there, and Daryl was like, I was getting ready to get it. He's like, yeah. He started to ring me up, and he said, he started going through the ringing up, and I was like, "I heard this is a good game." I said, I've heard some bad things about it, a lot of bad things. He said, "Yeah." He said, "If you got the online, you'll be really good with it." And he said, "I don't think there's a campaign in it." I was like, "No campaign?" And I think Daryl said he had played it and there was no campaign. I was like, okay, that's just weird. I can't play a game without a campaign. That's why I didn't get that Call of Duty that I think was 4. So I took it and put it back. I was like, I'm not going to get that. So I was browsing around, and I find Like a Dragon, a Yakuza Like a Dragon. I think this is the 5th or 6th one, maybe 7th. I said, I better go ahead and get this one. There's a spin-off. I mean, there's so many Yakuza games. I mean, there's so many. I've got the collection back in December. But Daryl's like, you're going to like that game. You're going to like it. And I heard that they can't call the series Yakuza no more. And I'm like, really? That's something that's you're afraid is going to offend people, calling a series Yakuza after 20 or 30 years? Okay. But Daryl told me that's a good game, and he said, you're going to enjoy it. And I've got the collection, and I've got 6, I believe. So I'm very excited with the games I've got of it. And finally, the last one I got during the sale through December was Life is Strange True Colors. I had actually picked this one. I started playing this one on Xbox One Game Pass for the $1 a month, and I got to the very end of it, to the 5th chapter, and my Game Pass expired, and it expired 3 hours early. Microsoft, you need to work on that, buddy. If it says that the Game Pass doesn't expire until certain time, having it expire 3 hours early, so I'm trying to cram to get this game finished, is kind of stupid. But until they give me a good deal on that, I'm not gonna pay for Game Pass just to complete True Colors. I'll just wait. And I'm glad I did, because I could buy the physical copy and own the game instead of just going through Game Pass. So, yeah. I mean, Game Pass was great. It's just, I'm like, man, I don't, there's just so many games in such little time. I've already got so many games here. It's just hard to cram for games to play, and you'd rather have it for physical so you can do it whenever you want instead of having like, oh, I got that month, I gotta hurry. So, yeah. Can't wait to finish to play it. Plus, I got 25 points here. 25 reward points, baby. Oh, yeah. Can't wait to play it. So, here we go. So, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for liking and subbing the channel. And I hope you like this latest edition of the latest video games. I'm going to go play some cool PlayStation 5 games, baby. ECW fan. Like a dragon.